Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to episode, what number are we on now?
I think we're going into episode 7 or episode 6.
Yeah, episode 6, I think, yeah. So, today we are joined by 2 really special guests.
We are.
It's the first time there's been 4 people properly sat around the table. Last time we had 3 and 1 under the table.
We did.
Much to the enjoyment of everyone else in the room.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we had little Abby with us last time. So, yeah, this is a very full room for us today. We're really excited to be able to kind of have with us Becky and Chris from South Gloucestershire. It's the first time we've had anybody from South Gloucestershire come and join us on one of our podcasts. And yeah, could you introduce yourselves?
After you.
Hi, my name's Becky. I'm a social worker for South Gloucestershire. Been working there for over 10 years now. And I've been assessing people to be foster carers for the last 2.5 years. But also as part of that role, I supervise Chris.
Yeah, my name is Chris. I'm the training officer for foster care, and my job is to organise training for the carers throughout the year. And I've been in the council about 10 years, done about 3 or 4 different roles, so I'm very happy with the council.
Oh, amazing. So, so this is the first time we've had anybody from South Glos fostering service. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about fostering for South Glos, like as a team, as an organisation. If someone was to foster there, tell us a bit about your service.
Training department's really good. I think that's the main thing.
We love it. And it's interesting, we talk a lot about training and support being some of the reasons why people choose local council fostering. Actually, being able to dig into that with you guys is really important because you get people ask that question a lot. So it's a really nice thing to actually, something that sounds local council fostering as a whole. So, yeah.
I think we're quite proud to talk about the training that we deliver as well. So South Glos is a fairly small local authority, but we've got some really amazing, wonderful foster carers who support children, and I suppose we want to do what we can to support them to do that through training, and we're always looking at different opportunities to help, see what there is for their training and learning. Yeah.
What's interesting from my perspective, I come in 2.5 years ago, and I just found all my colleagues really bright. It was like really bright people trying to pull the same direction. And obviously there's dynamics. There's always, isn't there? Every team, isn't there? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so from that respect, it was really impressive, really. And then kind of interacting with foster carers, again, just a really good bunch of people putting the best foot forward. So it's nice to be part of that, really.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Okay. So your role, Becky, the majority of your role kind of focuses on the assessment side. So we've talked a lot in our podcast, haven't we, about what it's like to be a foster carer, what that journey might be. We met Annette in our last episode talking about kind of the really early stages. Yeah. But we really want to spend a little bit of time talking about that fostering assessment. We've talked briefly about it, but actually it is quite a substantial piece of work that families will undertake with an assessor. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Form F?
So it's a really intensive period of time in your life. I think some people feel like I know them better than they know themselves. Some people said that they feel like they've had a counselling session because they're reflecting on their lives, and I'm asking them to think about the things that they've experienced and what that's meant for them. So anyone who is assessed has to be prepared to be questioned, and I'm generally I love the word curious, and I generally am really curious, and I like asking people, and I absolutely love learning about people's lives too. So people tell me stuff and I'll say, tell me more about that, I want to know more. And what I want to do when I'm writing my report as well is bring people to life, because they're going to sit in front of a panel of people, and when I present them to panel, I want them to have read their Form F and say, I know you.
Yes.
And I think if I can do as much of that before they go to panel, then I've done my job half right.
Yeah.
But within that as well, everybody comes with their own set of life skills and experiences. So part of my job, alongside learning about them, I'm teaching them about fostering and aspects of fostering, and we're always all learning all the time, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you've fostered before, there's still something new to learn.
Yeah.
So I do very much see myself as trying to balance the two of sort of educating them and teaching them and learning about them and getting them to reflect. So it's all going on at the same time. And by the end, I think people find it quite strange when I stop coming round.
Yeah, almost like missing you.
Yeah.
You still you've got the celebration, yes, you're a foster carer, but then you've got that transition maybe over to their supervising social worker who'll continue with that support. But you've worked really intensively with them, haven't you? Looking at their own experiences of childhood and their own experiences of parenting, talking about some really in-depth kind of emotions and experiences. So you've spent a lot of time with them, and I've heard foster carers almost call it therapy as well.
Yeah. One thing we have been looking at as well is supervising new carers for a couple of months as well.
Yes.
So because like you said, they've built a trusting relationship with us as well. They've trusted me with that really personal information about their lives. And I'm setting the precedent of what a social worker's role is going to be within their lives as well. And then we are then trusting them to look after these really vulnerable children.
Yeah.
And so it's, in an ideal world, if they could have a little bit of consistency of a supervising social worker just for a couple of months, then we can do a really good transition over to their new supervising social worker. Because otherwise we've assessed people and we've sent them off into the world, and it's like, how do we create that consistency for them?
Yeah. Absolutely. And that transition as well, we talk about we understand the difficulties and the complexities for children when they transition and through different stages in their life, whether it's changes of school or even changes of carer. And actually we need to understand that within our own relationships as well with foster carers and support them with those transitions.
It's helping them build that resilience right at the beginning.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And my job is is in part to hold children, and if I can give them as good a start as I possibly can, then there's every chance that first placement is going to go more successfully for them.
Absolutely.
And it equips them with the tools, doesn't it, for long-term support. So they kind of know, you're there, they've had you there for a bit longer, actually. Yeah. When they start looking at what fostering might look in the future for them, they know people have been there for them, and they sort of feel that resilience that maybe they wouldn't have had otherwise, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, within that, you've talked a little bit about the assessment process and the steps that people go after that initial phone call with a member of our team.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about that in some detail for those that maybe don't know quite as much.
So we would get an application form, which would sort of detail all the key information about their life. And then we would, if they're happy to progress from there, we would look to do sort of paper references. We'd be emailing or writing to key family and friends, employment references from schools, and roles where people have worked with children. So we would be there'd be a medical as well, DBS checks. So that would all be happening, and then we would start looking at going out to do visits. I'd be asking them to do homeworks as well.
Amazing.
Which homework is always it's a funny term to use, isn't it? But we would ask them to do a chronology of their lives and think about their lives and think about the impact it's had on their lives. I would get them to do a book to welcome children to their home, and
like a little profile book. So before children move in, they would know a little bit about that family before they walk through the door.
We'd be looking at their pets as well, what pets they've got.
I forgot the pet assessment.
We would be looking at safer care policies as well. So we a couple I recently assessed, they did a poem.
Oh, nice.
And they did it with photos from their house and their lives, so that and they tried to think about it in a way that was accessible to a child.
Yes.
So there are lots of different ways to think about safer care, but it's also a really good way to get new foster carers to think about what safer care looks like in their home.
And it's the first time we've mentioned, I guess, safer care kind of on our podcast. And I guess in summary, it's about helping to keep children safe and helping to keep everyone in the household safe. But I just wondered if you could expand on that a little bit more about safer caring and what that means and why it's there.
I suppose it's really easy to think about how we parent our own children And it's acknowledging that we're parenting children who are not your own children. They have different lived experiences.
Yeah.
And it's about keeping yourself safe and children safe, whilst also trying to create a normal life.
Yeah.
So having some key family rules in place helps us to think about what that looks like.
Yeah.
Making sure you've shut the bathroom door when you go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Is a really simple one.
Yeah. Pajamas around the house and dressing gowns and
just small things that become so natural. It's just like a little gentle reminder of something that's like that. Nice, that's lovely.
Knowing how pets respond to people as well, because some dogs want to be cuddled and they just want a child to wrap their arms, and some dogs do not want that. So it's knowing those little things, and so it just creates a set of guidelines for everybody to work towards within the house.
Yeah, I like that.
That's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of having that kind of written down, everybody kind of knows where that is, and
and it gives the household a bit of a flavour as well, doesn't it? So it explains that as well. It's like the nuances. Everyone's got those little family things they'll have at home that maybe is just second nature to them. But actually, just bringing people along that journey with you and actually showing kind of a little bit of your personality off what it's like to kind of live there. It's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one of the things that you talked about was kind of you're almost doing training during that Form F, because I think it is the learning and development for foster carers starts right from the beginning. And the growing your village that we've talked about before, again, starts right from the beginning. And going into the assessment process is that next step, isn't it? It's building your village even more. It's meeting new foster carers or people that are already foster carers, building connections there with peers. It's building connections with the fostering service, with the learning and development team. So we're going to come on and talk to Chris in a minute. But it's that learning and development kind of journey is beginning.
And it's multiple layers of learning as well, because you think about we do eco maps, which is about support network, and you're looking at the people in your lives and going, who is going to support me, who's going to provide practical support, who's going to provide emotional support. People don't necessarily think about support like that or label it until someone like me comes and sits in your home and says, right, so who's going to come at 9 o'clock when you need them and they'll come running? Who's the person you pick up the phone to and say, I've had a tough day, can I talk it through? Or who's going to celebrate the wins with you as well? And it's all of those things. And I think that's learning. You're learning about yourself, and it's that journey of self-discovery bit. But you're also learning what fostering looks like, and that you're meeting experienced foster carers. We do that within our Skills to Foster training. And I know that a lot of the couples and applicants that I've assessed, they absolutely love meeting experienced foster carers. And they say, when can we meet more?
We have that, don't we, on our information sessions?
Yeah, we do. And we're really lucky to have someone from South Gloucestershire join us and talk through, which has been fantastic. It just gives people who are starting that fostering journey, or maybe are partway through it but not quite ready to apply, they're at that stage of understanding, actually, I can see this person, I can see their lived experiences and stuff like that. It's so useful. And that's something we've pointed to right across everything, isn't it? Really trying to get that voice of the foster care and the children and young people throughout, because they are the voices everyone wants to hear.
And I've seen people that I assessed right when I started the role, and now they're approved and they're fostering and they have built support networks and they've got friends, and they'll say, oh, Becky, I've got training, so and so is going to pick them up for me and drop them back, just because there's a crossover of timings. And it's lovely because I'm seeing people support each other, and that foster carers, who better to support foster carers than other foster carers?
It's brilliant. Definitely. I think that foster care support, isn't it, that kind of peer network that they begin to kind of grow and develop is just so vitally important, whether they're in Mockingbird, we've talked about Mockingbird before, or whether they're not. It's building those friendships and the support networks, and the helping when there's those emergencies as well.
And they can talk to other foster carers in ways they can't talk to maybe friends or family who don't understand fostering or haven't got that experience of sort of being in those environments, which is super important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I feel intimidated now. That's great.
Sorry, Chris.
That's all right.
Come on, Chris. So should we come over to you and do a little
Briefly,
bit of kind of
briefly.
Okay. So within kind of learning and development and training, when would people on their fostering journey, when would they really start looking at their learning and development options and what's available?
Yeah, so I suppose the first thing is to do their TSD book, which is the training standards booklet, which is kind of government issued, if you like, and that runs through some of the skills and standards we expect the foster carers to adhere to, and that can come in different forms of learning, as Becky alluded to. It's just a case of filling that book out, and it could be a reflected log for them.
Yeah.
And that'll be supported by the social worker. And it doesn't have to be War and Peace, but just be some paragraphs about how you understand certain subjects. Might be equality or diversity, or perhaps safer care, I think might be in there for example.
Yeah.
So, and then you would come to me, and you would we'd start to introduce you to what we expect from you from South Gloucestershire Council. And it's done we've got 8 modules, or 8 mandatory training skills, we call it, and we ask you to go through those within a year of starting, ideally, and then we have additional training, on the side of that, really, which we kind of we aim that helps to make you feel upskilled and confident to deliver care. Really, we ask you to refresh it every couple of years. For example, first aid is refreshed every 2 or 3 years, and some of the other stuff's 3 to 5 years, and then the other learning is kind of what we think is appropriate, and then what we think could be helpful for them, and to try and create some diversity with their education or training.
But you also listen really well, don't you, to your foster carers in terms of what it is that they want.
We try to.
We try to,
yeah,
as best as possible, to put on as kind of as many different options as possibly available.
Yeah. We do try that. We try to put ourselves in their position, and if they've done training, the same training 10 years ago, for example, if this is mandatory, you've got to keep going. You can only change that so much. So we do try different punts, really, and a lot of that could be what we find interesting, isn't it, and what we think are quite helpful. But yeah, you're quite right. So we'll do an engagement event, and they'll tell us, and we do feel, and I feel really strongly, that people at the coalface know what's best for them, really. So we try to, where we can, listen to them. Yeah. But, obviously, we don't make any promises, but we do act on it. I think we do act on it. And
those engagement events are just absolutely vital, aren't they? Just kind of hearing from foster carers about things that as a service are working, or that could be improved, or training that they might like, or things to do with, I don't know, changes in management structure, whatever it might
absolutely.
be. They're really important, but they're also the opportunities to then spend time with other foster carers, build your connections, and kind of grow those relationships as well.
Absolutely. Peer-on-peer learning, those connections, super, aren't they? And as Becky said, that type of education is better than listening to a trainer. It's much better to get that kind of conflab or education from somebody who's been through it and done it, and some of these people really have. So. And
you try and do as much as the training options that are available, like in person?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So we do have a couple of online things, but it's much better to be in person, if you like. So, what do we do? We employ people to come in. We try to move it around South Gloucestershire, because South Gloucestershire is quite varied, I guess, in terms of its size, quite big. We try to have things in different parts, if you like. But yeah.
Build it around, see what's needed, grow it. Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
Because one of the things that, we're also looking at, we've talked about, the idea of foster carers meeting other foster carers, obviously within South Gloucestershire. Well, one of the things that we're looking at in Fostering Southwest is actually growing that even wider, and supporting foster carers from across the region, being able to have some training opportunities together. And I think, again, that will do, hopefully, a number of things. One, obviously, kind of meet a need for foster carers, advanced kind of learning and training. But I think it would then also provide for that, I guess, you know that you don't know something until you hear it from someone else. So you might hear something about what another local authority is then offering, or that works really well, that they might take back to their own local authority, and things kind of grow and develop. And I think
it's good to rub shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get ideas, and you can take that back. And I think foster carers like hearing from other authorities of maybe they're having similar challenges.
Yeah.
And that humans like to hear that, don't they? We like to think, oh, you know what, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And even that in itself can be super helpful, if you like. So yeah.
Definitely, it's building your own village, isn't it, for the foster carers, and keep having that actually regionally these are challenges people face, and it's similar in South Glos to Cornwall to Dorset, everything. There might be similar things, and people are working at sort of novel solutions to different challenges.
Exactly.
But actually, the way we've spoken before and how you make sort of training like engaging and fun and quite light is a really amazing approach, and I think that's feedback.
We try to. I think if I put myself in their position, I want it to be fun. I want it to be, I want to have feel lighthearted. Obviously, some of the subjects aren't necessarily lighthearted, are they? But you've got to take that seriously. So it's a bit of a ebbs and flows a little bit, but we definitely. We work hard to try and make them feel welcomed. I think, whether we do that all the time, I don't know. We can only see it from our perspective, but I think that's fair, isn't it?
We try to accommodate. We're thinking about times of the day, weekends. Try to do it within school hours as well. So we're trying to remove extra barriers, and extra complications to training. Yeah. So we try to do it so that children who are looking after school-aged children can do the school drop-off, do training, and then go back to do the school drop-off.
Yeah.
Great point. Sometimes we do training. We do some on a Saturday so that some carers can do weekends, some evenings, and so we try to make sure there's variety, which is why we do also have some online, because we can't do everything in person.
Yeah. It opens up for people, like you say, if they've got the barriers, and there's that opportunity there, and to go back and do it in a time that suits them as well, definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I think it shows that there's always that learning and development opportunities for foster carers throughout their journey, and that's kind of growing. I wonder if we can kind of move a little bit into the support element, because I know that there's some really wonderful things that have happened in South Gloucestershire.
Curry night.
Fostering. Curry night.
I'm signed up for a curry night.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Can you tell us about curry night?
Yeah, so I think when I started, they said, can you do a men's group? I said, of course I can. No problem. And then we spoke to a few of the carers, and they felt that it could be too staid to be in a council building trying to talk about feelings and kind of having that support. It's just much more difficult, isn't it? So one of my colleagues suggested a curry night, and we did, and it's worked really well. And we got a core group of about six chaps. It is a male. So then we'll come on to it has presented some challenges with our females, I think, but it's a male night, and we got 6 chaps coming along, regular ones, and then up to sometimes 12 or 14, and it's just really nice. It is really social, and the pressure's off, and there is some natural support because you're kind of sat by side, and people will like talk and perhaps vent, like rightly so, and it's super appropriate, and
we all need that place to kind of vent and share and talk about things that are frustrating or challenging for us.
And sometimes, like as humans, we can be too quick to try and offer an answer or an antidote. We just don't really, we don't have that pressure, I don't think. Sometimes just supernatural, really. And we've moved around to we've done a curry night, we've played football, we've done yoga, grass bowls, and it's really nice. Yeah, some of the chaps like it. I guess it's controversial because you ladies didn't do it till quite recently, is that?
So I think it came about because it was an opportunity for male carers to get together. And typically they're usually working in the day, so it was creating, that's not an endless, but that's quite often what's happening. So that opportunity got created. So now we're looking at opportunities for lead foster carers to get together. So that I know that we've just started a book group.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah, there was a walk that was organised, but it was then
too hot.
It was too hot, which is not what you usually say in England.
That's a very British problem.
Too hot.
Yeah, so we're looking to move that one.
Yeah.
There was wreath making before Christmas, and so we are looking at more opportunities.
It's just a lot more natural, isn't it, in terms of what we're trying to do, and kind of have it where people feel comfortable to speak openly or not, and just go and sit. And certainly there's no rules in place. We have faith in people to manage themselves, if that makes sense. And they do, because they would have gone through assessment, wouldn't they? They're people. Some of these people have created their own businesses. They've lived abroad. Do you know what I mean? Some of these people work for the NHS. They save lives, and you think they can manage themselves, and they do. So we have faith in that, and it's really nice to be part of, actually. And I forget myself sometimes. I treat it as a bit of a social sometimes. So.
But that's what's good, I'd imagine, because it's just hanging out with like a group of friends almost, isn't it? And that's where you can start having those conversations, actually feel safe and okay to say some things that maybe be bothering you, and actually someone can just listen in, and you don't feel judged in that way by having like a more formalised setting.
And some of the carers have got so much experience that they can just, they've been through it, and that is, like we said earlier in our conversation, that's super helpful, isn't it, to hear that from other people. So
you find them naturally creating that kind of support, that listening,
they're a good bunch.
Challenging as well. That appropriate kind of professional challenging. Going, come on, what can we?
We have had that.
Here?
We have had some challenges, and similar. You can kind of fret a little bit, but they work out. We all work out because they're adults and they've been through. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's really nice to lean into.
You're all there for the same reason.
Yeah.
Everybody who's in kind of working and fostering, looking after children, we're all there for the children. So how we do that might look different, but we all need that help and support in different ways. And the things that you're doing with your kind of your curry nights and wreath making it's breaking down some of that isolation, I guess, that sometimes foster carers can feel, because it can sometimes not be easy to be able to talk to people who don't foster and they don't necessarily understand.
Good point,
so then you need those connections, and I think helping people come together that might have similar interests and spend that time together is really important. Really important.
We do also have things like a Christmas party, we do the summer fair, we do an Easter egg hunt. I know there's it was only last week there was a picnic in the park, and so there are lots of these events as well where the carers are getting together with the children and they're doing activities, and I think that's also a really great opportunity.
Brilliantly organised, aren't they?
They are really well organised.
Yeah,
fantastic opportunities.
Yeah,
and people really seem to enjoy them.
Oh, sounds amazing.
It does, doesn't
I
it?
love it.
Yeah.
There's so much going on there.
Yeah, loads. And it's really nice to hear some of the different offers that are available and how you sort of make it match kind of the demands and the wants of your communities, which is so lovely.
Yeah.
Thinking about them then, have you faced any sort of common misconceptions or anything like that where people have sort of come across with something actually no, this is very different to what it's...
So I don't know if I'm answering your question. I think you have to take fostering seriously, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So sometimes... So I you know more about this. So if I talk too early, I apologise. But I think some people's hearts are in a really good place to try and foster, aren't they? And I guess you just got to be aware of some of the challenges that might come up in terms of perhaps some of the trauma a young person's faced, and you have to take that seriously and think that through, and then speak to people like Becky and kind of understand that. I think that would be if that's my understanding of your question in terms of misconception. You think you're going to go in, you're going to do a great job, and ultimately that's what you want to do, but you've just got to be wary of what you get into, and I think it's okay to say that. I think it's okay to say that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I think it's also fair to say that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach as well, because we need different types of foster carer, and there are different types of children, and different people are right. It's getting the right fit sometimes as well. So it's about not thinking you're qualified or unqualified enough to be, because we all bring our own set of life skills
Great point.
to fostering, and don't automatically rule yourself out.
Absolutely. I think that fits really well with some of the myths that some people have around fostering, like, oh, I can't because I'm not married or because I'm single, or it might be that you have maybe two people both are working or not working, or fostering as well has also changed. If you look at kind of where fostering is now to where it was 50 years ago, how different kind of families are, the socioeconomic factors that have kind of changed throughout, that has changed fostering, and there is no one person that is a typical foster carer. Everybody is so unique and individual and brings something so beautifully special.
And that can fit for the young person, can't it? Because they need different people, don't they? And they need different skills and resources to learn from their carer. So
you can have two amazing foster carers and they could be so different from each other. And that's what makes fostering so wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's why the matching's so important as well. We understand what that child needs from the family, and your assessment brings that together to go, this household, this family is able to offer this to a child, and is there a match there? Is this something that could possibly work? Actually, this could work really well. And that's one of the really important things about the assessment, is finding out who your family is, and then seeing if they can match. Yeah. Okay.
Amazing. We've come on to that time again.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you ask it today.
No, I wanted to look and learn a little bit more about kind of what's going on in the future.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a little bit more about what's the next plans with South Gloucestershire within their fostering, within learning and development, in assessment. What's coming up?
Well, we always are welcoming more foster carers to
Yes.
assess. We always want more foster carers. So if anyone's ever interested, please make contact.
Absolutely.
But I suppose we can only really mostly comment on training. Is that a fair?
Yeah, I think as people we are open to, we try to have a good relationship with our carers.
Yeah.
So any relationship is, if you've got a good relationship with somebody, you can have that dialogue, can't you? Yeah. And you can kind of get that two-way. And we as an adult, so I guess we'll listen to them. We'll continue to listen to them. We'll try to be creative from our own side. We'll think about what we like, what we think might be helpful, and where possible, we'll commission that. Really, we won't obviously make any promises, but yeah, that's what we're going to continue to do. It feels like it's working. We don't get everything right, obviously, but
we learn from what we don't get right, and we change it, and we're being adaptive.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a structure, if you like, and then we kind of move off that a little bit, and we try to think of it from their point of view, I guess, what they might find interesting and what skills they might want to develop further, because they've got a phenomenal amount of skills amongst them already, as we've spoken about.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you'll have foster carers that are right at the beginning of their journey, and probably foster carers that have maybe been fostering for 20, 25 kind of years, 28 years. There we go. Wow, 28 years. That's amazing.
Amazing.
And so what they need is very different, which I guess can make it really challenging when coming up with a kind of a learning and development agenda for a whole service for the year. So it needs to have that, I guess, that variety.
Yeah. We talked about, was it being proactive and reactive at the same time? And
I like that.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah.
That's your new phrase for the year.
Effectively do that, to be
we
fair.
do. We meet with carers, we talk to them, we have supervision, we reflect upon how training's gone. We try to attend some of the training courses as well.
I attend a lot.
Chris attends loads, but we have conversations about those as well. What lands well, what doesn't land well. We get feedback from, so we're always trying to look at just how we get it better. And we'll just keep trying to do that.
Absolutely. All right.
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Our last question then.
After you.
After me. Okay. So what would be one piece of advice that both of you would have for somebody thinking about fostering?
I think there's... Are you happy if I...
Yeah, you go for it.
Yeah, okay. So I guess there's two things. I struggled with this prior, but I guess I think if I look at fostering, is an element of... It doesn't have to be... It could be for a shorter period of time, several years. It doesn't necessarily have to be for... We spoke about 28 years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like that. So don't be fearful of that. And I think there's also an element of, was what Becky spoke about earlier on, self-discovery, isn't it? In terms of your own learning about yourself as you go through that journey. You'll get natural challenges, and once you come out the other end, you'll be a more rounded, ideally regulated human being, and that's really nice. And I think it's not necessarily seen, is it? If you know what I mean, it's never spoken about. Is that advice? Is that a kind of advice?
I think that is advice. I think
it's what you can expect to receive from your fostering journey as well, isn't it? Like that understanding of yourself, your family. Yeah, definitely.
You're doing something good for somebody, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything from you, Becky?
I think mine would be always be yourself and always be curious.
Nice.
Love that.
I think there's so much to learn, and bringing yourself is the best thing that you can bring to fostering, and having that curiosity to keep learning, keep gaining more information. I think, what else can we ask?
Absolutely. All right.
I love it.
I love it. Thank you both very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So anyone who's kind of interested, thinking about fostering for South Gloucestershire, then obviously give us a call.
Yeah.
Come through to one of our recruitment officers. We'll be able to tell you even more about kind of fostering for South Gloucestershire, and hopefully get you on the next steps to meeting Chris and Becky on your journey.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you again.
See you again. And coming up on our next episode,
Yes. So we have Emily.
we do This
is Emily?
Yeah, so this is a young person who you would already have met her foster carer, her family, and she is coming to talk to us about her journey in being looked after, and where she is now as a young person who's care experienced. And we get to kind of hear more about the importance of fostering from her perspective. But yeah, you've already met her foster carer, but I'll let her explain a little bit more as she joins us in the next episode.
And he might pop in as well. So
and he may also pop in as well, so we may have an extra guest.
Brilliant.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining.
On the next episode, we will see you.